on the scales, man, that it's terrible. I mean, I get it. I get everybody saying, this is unprecedented stuff. I get that.
Yeah. So my suit, really, I need to bring everybody in because they know that, I mean, us as promoters, I mean, we're close on the margins anyway. We do these fights really to get you all fights and
right
going. So there's not a whole lot of profit at the end of the day. So, I mean, damages wise, what civil cases come down to. So they're going to be like, hey, there's no money in this case anyway, so let's let her go. But I mean, if I can get every trainer, every hotel, every venue that we use that actually makes money off of our fights versus us making money off the fights, then it's going to become something.
More like type of class action type of deal.
Say that again.
You guys keep the industry going. That's what we need fights for, right?
Yeah, but it's definitely a class action. So I have to. Number one, I have to give them notice under the Texas Tort Claims Act. So one, they have immunity, so I have to get through that. And once I get through that, which I'm going to have to claim some sort of civil rights issue, then I can open up the class, and that's when everybody's going to get something in their mail saying you may be affected by this lawsuit since
I was emotionally
a trainer, you're a hotel, you're this. So
I was emotionally and mentally distraught by the cancellation of this fight, and I want punitive damages at that's around 1.5 million.
Yeah, I definitely was. That's definitely
right. So as you know, but this happened. This happened damn near in the middle of everything, right? In the middle of the year, middle of the pandemic, and we're into September, and we're looking at the numbers, and those numbers are so skewed, and you really don't know what to believe. But as we're seeing the numbers somewhat decline and things starting to open up a little bit, and then you see these top, these $1 million companies, the promoters, Top Rank, and the rest of them start doing this show. How's your view? What are you guys thinking at the local level, state level, as far as your, I guess your attitude or your, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for, but you see these guys putting on shows. Are you getting with the rest of the local promoters like Alfonso, like Underwood over in Austin? Because I know you guys work with them. Are you guys in communication? What's y'all's game plan? What's your morale like? Is what I'm really asking.
We're always talking, so we're always having meetings and group chats and things like that. We're ready to go. We have been submitting for dates. So
you have,
yeah. Alfonso is going to be our main event, so we're going to go in with El Tigre. We submitted for September. We've submitted for October. I'm going to have things in there for November and December. TDLR is not budging and not agreeing to anything. So even though like Mayor Turner opens up Houston the other day saying, "Hey, look, we'll have special events at 25% capacity." TDLR, when I question them or send them emails saying, "Hey, look, I mean, this is what we want to do. We don't even want a crowd. I don't care about your 25%. I'm well under that. I'm under 100. You limited me to 100 people at my event working it. That includes boxers, trainers, staff, my production, all of that. I was able to do that." So it was going to be me and Forrest there working everything. And they're not acting. So that's what the lawsuit is. It's like, hey, you got to tell us something. Because right now it's, we're going to have a meeting October 23rd. Okay, well, that's a whole nother month and a half away.
Wow.
What's going to happen at that event? Or are you going to let us talk? Are you going to have some sort of answers? Or are you just going to say we're going to see and wait what the numbers are? Because the numbers change every day.
Right.
So our attitude as promoters are we want to move forward and do what we need to do. If we can't control TDLR, that's why we're going to the casinos. If they're not willing to act, and look, I mean, if I were to go to casino, it's going to take me 6 months to formulate a commission, get that sanctioning body approved by the national boards to do anything. So that's not a fast avenue. The fastest avenue is to go out of state. So that's where we're at now.
And everybody,
we can't do anything on our own, as you saw with these sparring competitions.
Right.
So everybody needs it too. You're speaking of Alfonso, just from a fighter standpoint, with him becoming top 10 ranked by sanctioning body this year and ain't acting. Well, how long before they take that shit from him?
What's really sick is, okay, after they canceled our event, a week later they have an amateur tournament.
We talked about about that.
Bro, I went live on Soapboxing because I was able to pull the event up on my TV, right, on YouTube. And so I not even thinking, bro. The week before our pro show got, however long before the pro show got canceled, I'm sitting there filming live, filming the two. Joe come on and say, "Ain't that something? We couldn't fight though." I said, "Shit." I said, "Yeah."
You know what we're doing? We're doing amateur shows now. But you know what? Now they don't want to give us a date.
Wow.
We're gonna take over a national tournament. So there'll be Sugar Burt, there'll be ringside, and there's gonna be next fight up. So we're gonna do a 3 or 4 ring national tournament. Bring everybody here.
Are you really?
Yeah. Wait until.
But they won't give us a date. So I want to do the first part of February before Golden Gloves and everything. But there's politics involved in that, and these dates are good for this. And
how much? Without going too deep into it, how much of it is it politics with the commission with TD whatever the hell it is?
Well, I mean, to deal with like Greg and all them, they just kind of put it off to the executive director, Brian Francis, and Brian Francis just more or less ignores my emails until I file other legal papers, and then I get a response from the attorneys. But
that was going to be my question: was sooner or later with it becoming a suit and litigation, you already know sooner or later you're going to get no response from nothing, and then it's just going to be talk to our lawyers, and then you know how that goes.
In a time delay. So we're at the position we're at, which is go out of state until they figure something out and go from there. So it's not a great case, but I mean, look, if I file it, not if, but when I file it and get through those immunities portions of it, I'm not going to let it go. There really can't be a moot issue if they open up the boxing again. Okay, great. You opened up boxing, so maybe part of my lawsuit is gone. But how much did all of these hotels lose as a result? How much did the Arabia Shrine lose? Because they charge us a significant amount of money to have that venue space. I had a plan to do a fight every single month. So 1 month would be for what we were going to consider like the elite class. So fighters that have over 12 fights that are looking to actually start to get ranked. The odd months were going to be up and comers that just want to start building their record. So you kind of see like one would be definitely we're going to see some really close matched fights. Other ones we're going to go see 15 fights that are probably going to end in the first round, but they're local boys, and we're going to see what's the next crop coming up.
So jumping into the lawsuits, right? Mm-hmm. Anytime you get into a lawsuit, it gets ugly, right? There's nothing pretty about the lawsuit. You know, there's so many different aspects to it, from the facts, the evidence, and then even down to a person's character, right? Wouldn't it be almost like the last resort? And I'm using this as a transition, you know, to get into the Canelo case. Mm-hmm. You know, from a civil standpoint, it's almost like you really don't want to get into litigation. You want to be able to settle this amicably. We want to put on shows. You guys want to put on shows. Just let us put on these dang shows. But if you don't, okay, then things are going to get ugly because we got to get into litigation.
That's why I asked Joe, what's the outcome he's looking for? Because if the outcome is just to get him to move and have shows, that's one thing, but that's not the outcome from what I'm listening to. So, and when you get into the Canelo thing, you got to also look at what's the outcome he's looking for.
Right, because it's not going to be
filing. There is no lawsuit right now, right? He's prepared. He's getting ready. So it's almost like right now he's in the world. Correct me, lawyer. Right now you're in the world saying, motherfucker, I'm going to file. What we doing? But once it's filed,
is it?
Now it's like, now it is more than just move your feet. Mm-hmm. Now it's more than just open up the shit.
Now it becomes the state has to get their attorney generals involved. They're going to get outside counsel. They have to have meetings on the budget to say, hey, look, we got a new action filed. This is what we have to divert money from this over to this now. So that's
why it depends. That's why it's very important.
It costs me nothing. It cost me nothing as the attorney that runs this to.
It's very important the outcome you want prior. Mm-hmm. What are you trying to get them to do or not do, or are you just looking for damages?
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, but I from what I understood, what I heard was, hey, we want to fight. Let us fight. If you don't want to fight, we're going to put this class action suit on. And once it's on, we're gonna go for punitive damages, right? Because the wheels are fucking turning. Yeah.
Well, punitive damages are hard to get. You just can't get them. There has to be significant.
Well, loss, right?
Not significant loss. It has to be significant egregious conduct on the part of the defendant.
Okay.
So that's going to be difficult to get. But like I said, if I can get all of these people on board, I mean, Mikey Garcia had a show that was going to take place the end of July, I think July 7th, up in Dallas, that they canceled too. I mean, lucky for him, he didn't have all his deposits taken from him. But I mean, he was going to have a bigger show. So, I mean, he's got damages. And again,
this move, bro, you're a Texas-based promotion, right? Doesn't mean you can't go anywhere else, but you're a Texas-based entity. And having a quarrel with the fucking state commission, bro, could end up all kind of ways. Depending on if you win, if you file, so I'm pretty sure that you have an outcome in mind, bro, what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not trying to always be the disruptor, but that's what we are. I mean, from day one, every single one of our shows has always had some issue with the commission or problem that they're going to terminate our show for some reason, but we've always come through and always have done it. I mean, the word on the street was we were going to be able to do our first 2 shows and we wouldn't be in business anymore. But we're on show 11 now after 2 years, 3 years, and
how strong is their defense, or how the whole pandemic?
Same as the zone.
How strong is that?
They are strong in the capacity. If it was like it was in July, I understand why they canceled this. It was going crazy, especially right in that week. If we're not having a live crowd, if we're able to control it, and there's very, very limited risk of contamination, they just can't say there's a pandemic going on. We can't do it because obviously Vegas is doing it. Obviously California is doing it. Okay, there's been issues, but those issues have a resolution. People are quarantined. They're kept away from each other and resolved. There hasn't been any significant numbers coming out saying, look, because Garcia tested positive for COVID on September 1st, that caused 20 other people to
fucking die
and die or something. Yeah. So there's nothing to show that. So I don't think just saying the pandemic is there is enough. There's no force majeure clause in how they run. So that's why is combat sports not open right now in for the TDLR? Why is that the only agency run by the state of Texas that is not doing business?
Now, but your guys, your case is a little different than the whole Canelo De La Hoya DAZN lawsuit, because you guys just want to be able to put on a fight. You guys want to be able to put on a show and perform. What's going on over there is
maybe. Let's let Joe explain it to them.
Yeah,
all right.
Because over there it's a boxer suing his promotion and the zone.
His promoter and his
I read the complaint. I finally downloaded it off of Pacer, which is the federal site that I can get on as an attorney and see the actual lawsuit itself. Uh-huh. So it's 25 pages, goes in a lot into all of the stuff that they were going to make Canelo do. They did not attach the actual contracts, which is a must in a contract law case. You're supposed to attach that to your complaint saying Exhibit A, look at my contract. This is what I had agreed to. This is what they did not do and how they breached it.
That's weird.
My guess is that they're going to ask the judge to keep it classified so that nobody can get into it except for the parties in the case and the judge himself.
Why would you think that? Yeah.
Because they don't want to disclose what he was making on the back ends of things, all that, his minimums, which I understand. I mean,
nobody's business.
He's the most popular Is the most popular boxer in boxing. It's something that he wants to keep private so that he can try to make more money